Okay, well, it's good morning here in England. I don't know what time it is in Australia. It's nice to have the opportunity to speak to everybody about things like a pony. And I think the slide you have on your screen says empowering children through riding, and that is our main strapline. And the thing about empowering children through riding is giving them the opportunity. Everything that we have is based on building a relationship with a horse. And that relationship is based on mutual trust and respect and responsibility for everything that you do. And when you can take control and you can respect yourself, respect another animal, and take responsibility is very empowering. And being able to form a long-lasting, loving, positive relationship is very empowering. So that's the ethos and the premise of where Think Like a Pony is coming from. So what we have here is we have 13 ponies that are all rehabilitated ponies. So they're ponies that came into our life because they were either a behavioural problem or a health problem to somebody else. So we take the time to rehabilitate those ponies so that they are safe to handle, safe to ride, safe to be around. But the reason why they've become a problem to somebody else is because they are very reactive and not responsive, and for whatever reason they don't understand their environment, and they are ponies that somebody else would say they're not trainable, and that to me means that they are just very sensitive and expressing how they feel. So once they understand, obviously you all know this, but I just need to say it, once they know that somebody's listening to them and they can make appropriate responses that help them to feel calm and safe, then they become really children's ponies. All our ponies can slide off their bums, anything, on and off the lead rein. But the thing is, they will only respond if you ask them correctly. So they give immediate correct feedback. One of the things that people always said to me is you'll never be able to get a child to train their own pony. And we not only get children to train the ponies, but we get, I think you can see in one of the slides there, we get children to train each other as well. Okay, so I've just been told to talk a little louder, so I hope everybody heard everything that I said. It seems really strange just talking to the screen, but I'm giving it my best shot. Okay, so the children here can get immediate feedback from the horses. So if the horse is calm, then they can take what's the word? They can see that they were a part of the horse being calm. The horse is taking the lead from the child. So if the child is anxious, the pony becomes anxious. If the child's nervous, the pony becomes nervous. So they're very, very responsive ponies and very athletic. And the bond that the children build between the pony and themselves gives their child, helps to fulfill the child's psychological needs. That's all I can say about that one at the moment. Okay, so the riding school is definitely a different approach. It's not like any other riding school. So the children here learn ground skills, they learn about the holistic approach to the horse, and they learn to ride in balance. So they're taking that sense of responsibility and really investing in a horse's welfare and a horse's future. So it's a two-way thing. The horse is investing in the child and the child's investing in the horse. So we just got a little clip of one of the little girls who come to us because she was exceptionally anxious. She had ridden at another riding school before, and it caused her to actually be quite traumatized. So this is Harriet. This is a little clip from Harriet.
My name is Harriet and I'm 14 years old. My favourite pony is Duncan right here. He's a fell pony. He's very cheeky, so it can reflect on my personality as well. My goal is to be more confident in the centre. I've been learning how to line up properly and jump because anybody can really jump, but you learn about how to be like line up perfectly and be more confident and not to ride your pony around the place. I think what's special about something like a pony is that it's really like they don't stress you all. It's like we're all family, so it's really nice. And like people just speak and tell them about it and they'll understand. It's like taught me like my other animals have emotions, not just horses. Like my cat is like worried or something. I could be like more calm instead of being worried as well. What can calm her down? It's helped me in school, like, because when we learn in biology and stuff, I know quite a few things about horses. So like I'm the class. I really like seeing the horses because like you have like a special connection with them. Like they understand you and you understand them.
Okay, I think you heard from the little clip there. One of the things that has really helped Harriet, she had a really traumatic experience at a riding school, and she's a very, very sensitive little girl, and she wants to jump. So I think you put two and two together, that's not been a good experience for her. But even though she came to us because she was a really anxious rider, the whole ethos of things like pony schools over into every area of your life. You don't just behave like this because you're on a pony, you behave like this because this is the right way to behave. And because we teach them the approach of the horse, they're very aware of you sat on a skeleton, the horse doesn't have a clavicle, it's got an adaptive skeleton, you know, how he moves, his biomechanics, and they become really interested in the horse for who he is. But then we extend that to the mammalian family, and then that's you as well. So it's very integrated into everything we do. So some of the children who come on part of the youth development program, which Harriet isn't on, she's a mainstream student, they become inspired to get, you know, turn back onto education. Maths, English, science, the whole lot. Here comes the science bit. That's one of my favourite sayings. So the approach, I think Harriet said, is very family orientated. So I suppose you would say that we are all giving that child a mentoring. We're all a mentor to that child, mentor like a mother or a carer or a family would be a mentor to that child. And the thing that's popped up on your screen now is our youth development program. This isn't actually the young man because this is actually my son, but the quote is real. The quote is actually about a young man who came into our program. He was a youth offender, and 3 weeks after we took him on, he was supposed to go for a 3-year punitive detention, child youth detention. Because of the program and talking to him in a respectful way, but being firm, fair and fun is one of our big mottos. And the relationship that he had with the horse, and you could see that he could have a positive effect on another animal. But besides that, he was a very tall guy and he didn't stand up straight. He used his weight and his voice in a very inappropriate way. But when he didn't use his body language or his voice appropriately, the horse didn't respond appropriately. And I can remember one day he actually said, "The bitch won't do it for me." He was talking about a lovely mare that we have. And I just showed him how quietly and positively you could be around the horse and she would do it. And it just changed his life. He's now fully employed. He still keeps in touch with us. I think he's 18 now, isn't he? And so the quote that you're reading there is actually a genuine quote. So we have lots of people on our youth development program. We have people from the looked after children system, children who are in foster care or adopted. We have youth offenders. We have children at risk of sexual exploitation. We're working quite a lot with girls who are on the suicide list. In fact, we've just taken on yesterday a girl who's just come out of hospital. She's just been out of hospital 4 weeks. She's been in hospital from January to June for a continuing attempted suicide. And the programme already got a lovely email from her dad saying he couldn't believe it's the first time he's seen her smile. And I know a lot of people say, well, you know, that could be anything. And I totally agree. It could be dancing, it could be yoga, it could be just brushing a horse, it could be playing with guinea pigs. But it doesn't matter what switches these children back on to taking that sense of responsibility. But as all of you guys are aware, being around a horse, and especially riding a horse, works on the mental, emotional and physical side of ourselves, taking responsibility for our own fear and what do you do when you're scared, what does it mean to your body when your brain and body are working together in that mindful way. To ride correctly, one of our big things is that you have to be around a horse, either on the ground or in the saddle. You have to be the best version of yourself. And when you're the best version of yourself, the horse can be the best version of himself. So that's the premise of what we do. And we reflect that honestly to the children all the time. So like, the horse has got his head up now, what do you think that means? And why do you think he did that? If you breathe out, or if you just can take a moment, or don't go into his personal space so quickly, or etc., etc. All the things that you guys already know. Okay. So the next thing is, just flick it over, is we've got a young, I don't know, Sophie's trying to say something to me now. Okay.
I'm going to move to the next.
Why? Okay. Well, Sophie thinks we should skip this one. Okay. The next thing that we are really working on, I'm very proud of, I developed quite a long time ago an online system for children so that they could do online learning. We have a lot of children who are homeschooled or for anxiety reasons do not go to school in any way. And, you know, education, talking, reading, listening, all those skills, those cognitive skills that help us to develop our resilience and our determination and our approach to the world are really important. And we took it down because I didn't feel that it was modern enough. And then we got a £5,000 grant to build an online club, and it's going live. Is it going live at end of August, Sophie?
That's correct.
Okay. We've done dry runs of it, but it's something we're very, very proud of, and we can share with you quite soon. It's really interactive. We've got webinars on that and all kinds of stuff, haven't we?
We have, yeah, video lessons, downloadable worksheets and information sheets, ebooks. It's really exciting. It's going to be a fantastic resource.
Okay. And the other side of what we do is obviously training and rehabilitation. We're given quite difficult ponies to work with, and we're the last chance really. And the main aim is, will that pony be mentally, emotionally, physically strong enough to survive in a riding school environment, which I'm sure all of you guys are really aware is not the easiest environment for a pony. I constantly say to the children, do you think this pony dreams of being a riding school pony? And they say, well, we hope so. I say, well, he only can do that if you're consistent, you give him what he needs every day. This is just a very short span from, was this from like spring to autumn?
Yeah, late autumn.
So the little pony that you can see, he was a gymkhana working hunter pony. He did the whole thing and it blew his mind. His saddle didn't fit him, his rider wasn't balanced, he had a very severe bit on in his mouth, and he just couldn't cope with it. He was very reactive, didn't respond to anything, and he decided the only way to survive was to get people out of his life very quickly, to just being consistent of the things that, as guys know, turned him around, and he's now one of our top riding school ponies. In fact, he's taken a second role with one of our top ponies, Conquer, in helping really nervous riders. So he's gone from nobody ever get on my back to, yes, even a toddler can get on my back. I was always concerned that he would never get over his fear of cantering or going over a jump. It's perfect. We changed his name. He's now called Little Peanut, and I think he's really popular. Do you so?
Very popular,
very popular.
Very handsome.
He's very handsome. He's very showy. He likes showing up. We also have an instructor program. And obviously, it's very difficult to train instructors to the level that is necessary in order to be able to get them to A, get the best out of a child, to be able to talk to a child in a respectful way that empowers a child, to be able to train a horse, to be able to get the best out of a horse that empowers a horse, and then be able to put the two things together. And I think Sophie's been training with me for 9 years.
I have indeed.
And she's my top girl, and she will be taking over from me. And it is a long journey. There's no shortcuts. I had somebody come over from Australia 2 years ago who'd heard about me and said they wanted to train with me. And she spent 3 days. I didn't charge her anything, and she just hung out with me for 3 days, and she watched me teach, and I gave her a couple of lessons. And she actually said, I can't do it. And I asked her why. And she said, you're too particular. But the thing is, when you are with a horse, he's particular. You have to be particular. And when you're with a child, they see right through anything that is pretend. So you have to be honest and particular without being critical. So you have to have that sense of fun, and you have to be able to be firm and fun at the same time. It is a talent. And I always say that anybody who wants to be an instructor also have to be kind and really be willing to do the best and really want to empower the horse, empower the child, and empower themselves. And it's great fun. Would you say it's great fun?
Yeah, it's a fantastic journey.
It is a fantastic journey. So this is the person, in case you want to know what Sophie looks like. Sophie is the one with the little grey pony there, with a little girl with a hand on her knee. And so the instructors, we don't take anybody up to Olympic level, but I think if you've ever taught novices, people who've never ridden before, to ride, you know how difficult that can be, because you're teaching somebody to control their body, control their fear, and control an animal. We teach everybody one-to-one, and so the instructor has a lot to learn. They only go into group lessons when they actually can ride. The numpty on the pony on the top is me. Okay, so we've got something very exciting happening soon. At the moment, because once my children had left, I set upon a dream to bring ponies into children's life, ponies and horses, whatever you want to call them. Because, you know, it doesn't matter, I've said this before, animals in children's lives are really important. It teaches them the respect and empathy. I don't need to tell you guys that. So I set off on a journey to be able to provide a service both to mainstream children or children who would never be able to have access to horses, and also to train people to do what I believe is really needed in the equine industry. So to do that, I had to do it from my home. So we live on a small holding. So we converted part of the barn into a little therapy room and a classroom, and I used the riding school that I had for my children when they were little, and we converted the hay barn into a tiny little indoor school. But our success has been such that we have been granted permission to build a purpose-built centre, similar to what you can see on the screen, at the other side of the small holding. So it will have its own entrance and will be completely private from the home, which is really important with some of the kind of children that we do work with, especially girls who are suffering from any kind of exploitation, in a nice, serene environment. So you'll be the mainstream and the youth development run side by side. We still haven't been granted permission to build a large indoor school because we are in Greenbelt. As you can see, there's nothing else around us. But watch this space, that will come. We have a purpose-built classroom. We've got 2 outdoor arenas. There's only one shown on the screen there. A stable block and a small indoor riding area.
And accessing planning permission for something like this in England is a massive, massive job. It took us 3 years, didn't it? Mm-hmm. And a lot of pushing and proving how impactful this can be for children. I
think when we toasted the champagne, I actually said we've made the impossible possible, because nobody believed that we would get planning permission to build this where we have. And that's a testament to how successful both the mainstream riding school is, and it is a child-centric riding school. We do have some adults, and that helps to keep things going, but I think the ratio of adults to children is 1 to 10, maybe not even that.
Not even that, no.
So it's a child-centric riding school, and as you probably can understand, during school holidays, during school time, we only have evening lessons or weekend lessons. So during the day, that is just purely youth development. So that just gives you an idea of the success that we have had. And that is testament to the training of the horses and their welfare. It's a testament to our approach and the respectful approach we have. And it's a testament to the commitment of the instructors to want to bring this together so that children are empowered to understand how to ride correctly, how to handle a horse correctly, to see the world from a horse's point of view, and through that journey, they are empowered to see other things differently as well. So that's really important.
And Lynn's very modest, but it's also a huge testament to Lynn herself, who invests a huge amount of her time and life into empowering the children here, training the instructors, and investing in the welfare of the horses.
Okay, so I don't know if we've got any questions. I hope you got a little overview of what Think Like a Pony is, and obviously I can give you anything that you want afterwards. So let's see if we've got any questions.